I used to be one of those people that always thought that money, I don't want to say money was evil, but in a way, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I always viewed money as something evil. But obviously, there's more to it. It wasn't just like I thought money itself is evil, but something about it, like, I, whenever I would think about becoming wealthy or financially free, I always felt like I needed to be super humble. And I think it's really, you need to be humble. Like the Bible even says that. But I always felt that if you had money, then you weren't really humble in a sense. Like by default, like if you have a lot of money, then you're not going to be a humble person. And I always felt that I had to train myself to remind myself that I need to be humble always, no matter if I have money or I don't. And when I would pretty much think of becoming rich, and to this day, that's what I'm striving to do now. But back then, I would always feel like I didn't need to be in a rush to be rich, which is also a good thing. Like, you don't need to be in a rush, but when blessings and opportunity present itself, you got to go for it and you got to take risks. But that's a whole different topic. But the thought of having money in my life, I always felt that, I think because I approached it differently back then, where I would seek to just find a way to make money all the time. I was thinking of ways to make money. I always wanted to have that entrepreneurial, route. And to this day, that is what I'm doing. But I always try to do it somehow, And for me, it was almost like whatever it took, I'm going to go for it. And I used to have a YouTube channel back then where I was a gaming YouTuber, but it wasn't quite me. I was being an entertainer. I was being someone who I wasn't. And I was, just doing it for the money. I wasn't doing it for the love of money, because that's where things are different. And in 1 Timothy 6, verse 10, it says that the love of money is the root of all evil. In fact, I'll pull it up right now. It says, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, and some people, craving money, have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." Now that's NLT version. I don't read NLT, but I just chose that because it's more modern. It's in a modern form, so hopefully it could register with you guys. But the thought of just loving money, it always scared me. I never wanted to be the guy that loved money. But in a way, I still found myself chasing after it. And if you all know, like, money is fleeting. It does not matter. At the end of the day, when you leave this earth, you're leaving everything behind. Only your soul goes with you, so you're leaving everything. But for me, I always thought that it wasn't good to like chase after becoming wealthy and rich. I always thought that idea was not a good way to go about it. But I think everyone should seek to be wealthy and rich, but just how you pretty much view it is where things kind of change. Now, in my opinion, I really do believe, and as the Bible also says, you should never love money. I think the love of money is the root of all evil. I think it'll lead you astray. It'll make you blind, because all you do is seek to make money. And when it comes to a business, it's the same thing. It applies to that, because if your why is to just have a lot of money, have materials and all that, that is a terrible mindset to have, especially as a businessman or business owner in general. You should never let your why be money. You need to remove that mindset. I think your why should more so be something like freedom, the ability to have more time to spend with your loved ones, your family, the ability to serve other people, especially when you're serving for the kingdom. It doesn't necessarily mean you got to do something church like, but obviously we are, our bodies are part of the church of Christ. So I think it's very good to seek to do that, just in a way that you're passionate about, in a way of the talents that God has given you. But I think that that's the way to go about it. Never let your why be the money, because that will destroy you. It will destroy your business. It'll make you super greedy, and you'll be an idol. Like you'll idolize money, and that's something you never want to do. And that's something that I pretty much try to stay away from. And I don't know, the mindset of, or the knowing of, the feeling rather of knowing that, there's a lot of people who have money, and there's like, that's what they value a lot. I feel like that's what kind of stirred me away, in a sense. Even though I want to be rich, I still felt bad being rich. And I think that's how a lot of people tend to see it as well. That feeling of, dang, I feel bad that I'm rich. It feels off that I'm rich. But in reality, being rich is a blessing. It's not bad. It can be a curse because of how you use it, but being rich at the end of the day is a blessing. It's abundance. It's God-given. Like, God doesn't want you to be poor. God wants you to be wealthy. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to be free, especially through Christ. But a lot of us, me especially, I used to think that being rich was a bad thing. Like, it wasn't good to be rich because it just makes me feel, it just made me feel bad at the thought of it. And there were moments where literally, like, my wife would have to tell me, no, we gotta, do something. We gotta strive to have a certain business, whatnot. And I would think to myself, like, I mean, I've always had the mindset of being an entrepreneur, but sometimes I just feel like in my heart, maybe I should just go with the flow. Maybe I should just keep working my 9 to 5, and then God will present an opportunity for me. But no, like, I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. So I got to do something. And it's the same for you. If you want to be rich, strive to be rich, but don't do it because you just want to be rich. Like, do it because you want to actually help people. Like, being a business person, you got to want to solve problems. Like, at the end of the day, if you're not able to solve a problem, if you're not able to love solving problems either, it's not going to be easy for you. And that's just the bottom line. Like, that's the foundation. If you really want to start having that drive, that grind, that mindset, you gotta start by loving to serve other people and solving problems for people. If you like, and especially nowadays, like, you gotta learn how to sell. If you learn how to sell, if you master the art of selling, you're gonna do very good with your business. If you can be a salesperson and just sell anything, like, to be honest with you, we sell things every day. And there's a difference with selling and convincing. Convincing is like you're getting somebody to do it for you. Selling is actually like you're doing it for the other person. But we typically tend to sell things to people every day. Like, we'll sell an idea. Like, oh, why don't you do that? If someone asks you for help or something, like, oh, I don't know, where should I get my car fixed? Why don't you go to that place? Like, they know how to do it well. Okay, thanks for recommending it. Like, you just sold him the idea of going to the place, like, to get it fixed. Like, we sell things every day. And in a sense, you just solve their problem because they asked where they should go. And then you gave them a place, and there you go. They got a place, now they're fixing their car. You just solved their problem. That's just a basic way of selling. But obviously, when you're going to run a business, you got to have the idea of, how do I solve a person's problem in a certain sense? Like, let's say you want to do real estate. You want to buy homes from people and then flip them or something. Look, you come to some guy, you want to buy their property. Maybe they are like interested, they're motivated to sell. and you tell them what you can do for them to get rid of the property and how much you can offer for it. If you can get good at doing that, you'll be a great salesman for real estate. So it's things like that. And once you learn to just love doing it and have a passion for it, you'll see that the money will come. Like, God will give you the money. God will bless you with abundance. You sow, you reap. You sow, you reap. You reap what you sow. But yeah, I just think bottom line, money isn't evil. It's just the love of it, of course, is evil. Don't idolize money. Do it for the purpose of helping other people. Do it for the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. And always keep God in your heart. Try not to stray away. Read your word every day. And yeah, I just think that having money isn't bad. It's actually good. But I used to think that money was bad. And the mindset has shifted. I've been watching a lot of videos, reading some books. And I'm starting to kind of like see, that money isn't bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just how people use it. So, yeah. That's all I wanted to tell you guys. Hopefully it gave you a perspective. And it's just something I wanted to share because I recently had that shift in my mindset. But yeah, definitely strive to be a wealthy, rich person. Just pray about it. Figure out what you want to do and how you want to help others, and love doing it. Because if you just do it for the money, you're not gonna prosper in how you think.